So guys, today on the Daily Drift, we're pulling out the subframe, differential slash rear suspension slash everything in the back end of this car. So, hope you enjoy.
We know we're shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Daily Drift.
Alright, welcome back, Drifters. So today, we're working on pulling the subframe out of the BMW. I'm going to try to get it all done today, but as you guys have seen, it clearly never seems to go the way that we want it to. So first things first, we got to disconnect the parking brakes, e-brake, emergency brake. You know, that rippy handle that makes you go rippy whoopie woo. That thing, that's what we're pulling out. So we're just going to disconnect the cables. We'll start there, and then we'll move to the rear subframe. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, we're just going to pop this little boot off. It's pretty straightforward. Luckily, mine's already kind of loose, just so we can get to these bolts down here. The bottom one should be a 12 and the top one should be a 9. We're just going to loosen those up and pull the cables through. I don't know why, like, BMW and Euro cars, they always have like different size sockets than, like, you know, in America it's the 10. In Europe it's the 13. It's the weirdest thing. But then here they decide to use a 12 that looks like a 13. And then the top one's a 9. Oh, I guess the 9 makes sense, you know. 9! I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna pull these off real quick and then we'll move on to the next thing. Pro tip, just throw all your shit in the cup holders and you'll be good to go. But no, really, I put the nuts and bolts in there. Don't mind how nasty those things are. This little screwdriver thing here, I just called this a screwdriver. This little socket wrench here, I'm just leaving here because there's not going to be any other 9mm bolts we're going to need with a wrench this small. That way I don't go looking for this shit when I go to pull it out next time, because this was a pain in the ass to find. And then these I'll just take with me, but we'll just, whatever. It's good. So on to the next. So next we're going to pull these wheels off and then get the brakes out, because that's the next step. That's what we got to do, so that's what we're going to do. So let's do it. Well guys, I'm kind of an idiot. I don't know what I did with my wheel lock key. Normally I would keep that kind of thing in the car, but I don't know where it is. So I gotta go find it. You'll never believe where I found this thing. It literally fell down behind the battery box and was laying down here near these two lug nuts. It was literally sitting there just like that. It's always funny how the hardest things to find are right in front of our faces. Ah, beautiful. So now I can take this sucker off. Uh-oh. Things aren't meant for impact, I don't think, because I just screwed mine up. Yeah, okay, so don't do that with an impact. Look at that. It just ripped it apart. That's really sad, Mishimoto. Come on, step your game up. Especially for guys like us when we're going to be changing our tires so much, I need to be able to use an impact without worrying about breaking the thing. That really sucks. That's kind of sad. RIP to my lug nut. What a ripoff. Garbage. Definitely get new lug nuts. That's such garbage. I shouldn't be ripping off the paint just by impacting it. Somebody's probably gonna be like, yeah, you will, because you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe I am. That's one tire down. So I'm gonna do the other side and then we'll work on getting these brakes off. All right, so first step, we're gonna get this brake off. We got 2 bolts back here, but I'm gonna take this off because removing this bracket just makes the whole thing easier when you go to slide it through. So we're just going to pop that out. So these are a T7 Allen and this is a 15 bolt. We're just going to unrip those out. I'm going to pull this out. This is an 18. And then, yeah, we'll move from there. So under here we got these 2 10mm bolts. We're just going to unbolt those so we get the brake line out. And then we're going to throw it in between there just to get it to the other side. Should be good. Now we just got to get these 3 bolts out. They're 18s. They go to the rear trailing arm. We'll pop those out real quick. Then this should be down, and then all we got to do is move on to getting the drive shaft out. Basically just a couple bolts up there we'll loosen up and take care of that next. Okay, so let me show you the trick to getting the drive shaft out. It's real simple. You're just going to take your flibber fluber, make sure that it's in neutral. You know, once you find neutral, wherever the hell that is. Alright, that's about neutral. And then we're going to go rotate the drive shaft. You need to make sure you can see. Then all you do is rotate your drive shaft till you see the nut that you need to do. There it is. So now we rotated it. Now we go put it back in first gear. This is way easier when you have a lot of friends to help you, because then you don't have to keep getting in and out of the car. it can be a pain sometimes. Slap that sucker back in first gear, and then back under the car we go. This is probably my most hated part of any build, is crawling under the car. I absolutely hate it. Alright, so now we got this puppy locked in there. Just gonna take my 16, slide it on here, and not be a dumbass like I was before hitting it the wrong direction. We want it to loosen up, so actually I need to switch. Ah, shit. Oh, I got metal in my back. That's always comfortable. So you just pop it on there, make sure it's real good and solid, and then whack it with a hammer till it goes loose. Ah, there it goes. It's either that or I stripped it. There she goes. And now the drive shaft's loose. So pretty simple. See if I can get this thing to come loose. There's usually a little bit of play in these suckers. I was gonna say I may have to just break out the pry bar to get this sucker the rest of the way. Oh, here we go again. Oh, fuck. Oh, I hate this part. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna try to pry this thing out of here. I'm gonna try putting it in neutral and see if that gives me the movement I need. Look, at this rate, I'm not gonna need to do cardio at the gym tonight. All this up and down, geez. It's just being a little bit of a cunt. If I had to guess, this thing's far enough out that when we go to drop it, we should have enough room to drop and pull this way a little. So it should be okay. Yeah, I think we're just gonna YOLO Baggins it. Okay, so next. These are your brake cables from the up there that we undid. Little parking brake. I'm just pulling them through these holes because, well, they're just kind of getting in the way right now. So I'm just gonna pull them so they're out. One less thing to worry about. Cool. So now what we're looking at, there's a couple of wires that are connected, and there's these little junction boxes in the back that we can use to unhook them. But I'm gonna look and see if there's any other ones that I'm forgetting, but I should have them all once I get them. There should be one on this side and two on this side, and maybe 2 and 2, but you'll see it. There's a little junction box. I'll show you where it's at. So we're gonna undo that, and then there's 4 bolts. Boom, 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 boom. Obviously, I don't want to be under here when I do it, and I'm gonna have a jack to hold this thing up. And it would be nice if I had a second pair of hands, but I feel like I'm gonna do this by myself. So, yeah. Let's get started. So there's one of the junction boxes. If you pop this open, there's little connectors in there. Basically, to get these wires out, it allows you to disconnect it from here so that way you're not hooked up to the body when you go to pull it out. So we'll make sure we get that undone. There's one on each side. There's also a connector back there we're gonna pull out just to be safe. Last thing I want to do is try to drop this and then have wires dangling. That would just be a bad day. So here's an example of one that's already been opened up. It's pretty straightforward. You just basically pop them out, kind of like when you do your O2 sensors. Pretty similar stuff. So I'm gonna do those real quick. Alright, so we got the whole thing jacked up. I got the nice jack on there. I'm doing this by myself, so it's pretty sketchy. But we're just gonna undo those bolts, loosen them up real good, and then after they're loose, we're gonna slowly lower this thing out. And hopefully that it won't get hung up on the drive shaft, but it probably will. So wish me luck. It's an 18 to get on these things, just FYI. Lord knows these have probably never been done. Oh, there it goes. That's the sound of old metal. And if you'll notice, I'm trying not to be under the subframe when I do this. Just a little amateur tip there for you. Okay, so now I got all the bolts out. It's literally held on by the jack. So I probably shouldn't have my head this close to it, but it's okay because I want you guys to know that I do this because I care about you. We're just gonna get to pulling this thing and hope for the best, so wish me luck. One spot I'm worried about is the drive. Oh shit. Didn't mean to drop that fast. It's still on the drive shaft though, so I'm gonna have to get back there and see if I can get that out. I'm gonna try to fiddle dick this out of the way. I got a plan. I should have done this from the start. We're just gonna unbolt the drive shaft from up here at this carrier bearing to give us a little bit more play. Alright, that should give us a little bit more. There we go, drive shaft's free. Okay, baby. Here we go. Papa wants a new subframe. See if she comes down easy. Oh, looks like we're still stuck somewhere. Looks like it's one of these studs, potentially. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, is that it? Is that all she got? Oh man. This ain't ideal, but we'll see if it helps. Come on, baby. Ah. Aha. 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 Alright, now we got it. Now I just gotta lower this bitch. And looking pretty good. I should be able to just pull this sucker out now. One problem, my jack is a little bit tall. Problem is my jack's too big, so now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna slide this thing out from under here. Could be interesting. So I got this thing pretty jerry-rigged. I got a thing hooked up on that side, and I'm gonna try pulling it out sideways because there's no room to pull it out the back, so I gotta kind of come out sideways. It's kind of shitty, but it's what I'm gonna try to do, so wish me luck. Alright, let's see if we can do this. I can't believe this is working. Oh, well. Alright, it's sliding pretty well now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an entire BMW subframe. Hell yeah. Oh man, I'm scratching up my floor. Oops. So there you have it. Full on, empty ass, fully out subframe. Whole thing's empty now. Oh look, I'm bleeding a little bit. So guys, just like every other day here on the Daily Drift, I gotta go hit the gym. So unfortunately, this is where we're gonna have to stop today. Tomorrow, we're gonna start taking the diff apart, we're gonna weld it, and then we'll work on putting the bushings in. I'm actually going to pick up a bearing press here in a little bit, so that way it'll make the job 10 times easier. So anyway guys, I'll see y'all in the next one, and just remember, keep it nice and easy.
So stay tuned everybody, because in the next episode, we're going to be welding the diff on the Dubya. And well, it doesn't exactly go as planned.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what I did, but I think I screwed something up because I can't turn the diff. So I may have welded it or had weld drop down onto the pinion, so